Nathan, you're halfway through this season. How do you feel your team's gotten on?
I think we're in a better place now. I think the start of the season, when it was all new players, we got to a point where we were struggling in games. Although we were training well, we were struggling in games. So we sat down and explained to the girls that when we go out and play on a Sunday, it's all right to be fearful of other teams, but we need to regroup and understand that it's okay to have fear, but they need to show a bit of heart and desire, which they've done. And so the second part of the season has gone really well, to be fair. Really well.
And sort of the last couple of weeks as well, we've seen the results and the performances improve. I mean, you've had a couple of losses in there, but they've been close against some really strong opposition.
Yeah, of course. I think we've won 4 of the last 6. Them 2 losses you're talking about. Both halves. And I think for 60 minutes we were the better team. We just had that bit of issue of seeing the game out and conceding late on. But I can't fault the girls. So they've massively changed it around from the start of the season. We're starting to gel now. So they've had a bit of time together, and the group are really progressing well and developing as we should.
And how pleasing was it as well to go into the Christmas break with that win against Cambridgeshire?
Yeah, of course. Really pleasing. We said on Sunday, off the back of a loss at Swindon, that it's your last game before Christmas. Just go out and enjoy it. Stick together as a team, and they did that. And we kept the ball really well, and we were very dominant. And they got the win they thoroughly deserved.
And what do you make of the development of your team as a whole? Because we've commented on this on a number of occasions of how young the seniors are, but your team in particular is very young.
Yeah, they are very young. But if you look at the first team set up, I think they've got 3 or 4 that's come up through the development side this year. And there's others that are on the first team manager's lips. So they're doing really well. Like you say, I think we've got a lot of 16 and 17-year-olds. They've got a lot of developing to do, but they're doing it well at the moment.
You talk there about the players that have stepped up. We've seen a number of them. The latest one at the moment that seemed to be staying there is Manger Kaur, who started the season with the firsts and did well, and she's come back to yourself and had to graft a bit more, and then she's received another call-up. Exactly,
and that's where she stayed. And to be fair to Manny, Jamie had a word and said there's a few things you need to work on. Like you say, she come back, had a couple of games with myself, was outstanding in them games, to be fair. And then she went back up, and that's where she stayed. And fair play to her, and thoroughly deserved.
What about a couple of the other moments as well for your sort of team? I think the biggest one, probably the moment of the year, was Leah getting her debut for the first. In the same game that Olivia Payne as well got her debut, but Leah's was a little bit unconventional for herself.
Yeah, most definitely. I think we had a chat, myself and Jamie, that week, and he said he'd like to take a couple of development players just for a bit of experience, a bit of atmosphere for him. And I think Leah this season's been outstanding for us, and I thought it was her chance. And I actually went to the game, and obviously going into extra time, you get an extra sub, leaving with 2 keepers on the bench. Leah's actually played up front, I think, before for a college. And I just said to Jamie, you've got 10 players, get her on and finish a game with 11. And I think the rest is history.
And what are you expecting from your team in the second half of the season? You've predominantly it's just league for yourself. You do have your league plate game against a very tough opposition in MK Dons. What are you expecting from the team, and what do you hope to get?
Well, now we've turned a corner. I don't think the Christmas break's going to help. It's come at the wrong time. But we go again the 2nd of January. Hopefully we can keep that form going. And as you say, we've got MK Dons at the end of January in the quarterfinals of the plate. I think the week before we've got AFC Bournemouth again in the Hampshire Cup. So hopefully, if the girls keep themselves fit over the Christmas period, and we come back and we train well. Hopefully we can keep that momentum going into January.